I'm delighted to be joined this morning by Simon Wright, the new industry editor at The Economist newspaper. Simon, it's been a remarkable time for The Economist this past 10, 20 years, against a backdrop when other newspapers have had shrinking circulation. The Economist has doubled theirs.
Yes, we've doubled sort of to 1.6 million copies a week at the moment, and that is fairly remarkable when you consider that most newspapers have been shedding readers over that sort of time period. There are a variety of reasons why we've done well just beyond sort of good luck and being in the right place at the right time. Firstly, English is the sort of global business language these days, and we publish in English, and that's very useful for us. Secondly, what we offer sort of analysis and opinions of the news. We don't just report the news, and in a sort of a time-poor world, that can be very important for readers who want to get up to date on the big issues very quickly. The other thing is we're a global publication. We look at issues from a global perspective, and news in other parts of the world, not in the UK, but in other parts of the world, can be very, very local. So there's not really much competition in offering a global view. And the other thing is globalisation has thrown up some big issues, and they're the sort of things that we tackle head on. And
they're the issues that you're going to have to tackle in your new job as the industry editor. You're covering a industry on a global basis. How do you link in with your colleagues around the globe? How do you follow the agenda yourself?
Yes, very much so. It is a global job. I mean, some of the big bits of the job are covering the car industry and the aerospace industry, and as you say, they are big global industries. Well, I mean, we have stringers around the world who would look at these and maybe feed me information. I will look at other publications and the news to see what's on the news agenda, and then I'll go to my editor and say, look, this is the important thing we should be writing about this week, or this is something we should be thinking about for the sort of coming weeks. There's some sort of news peg coming up, and that's the way we sort of work out what's going to be in the paper from my beat.
But when we do see the newspaper, we don't know who's written it because you've got a long-standing policy of no bylines. Is that going to change in the near future?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, there are a couple of reasons why we do that. One is just historical. We've never had bylines, and I think it's one of the things that sort of sets us apart from other publications. I think readers probably quite like it. The other reason is the nature of what we produce. It's an institutional view from The Economist. We're a sort of a free trading, free market publication. We're interested in globalisation, as I said, and all the articles come from that sort of background. They're very heavily sort of edited just to make sure that the sort of institutional view of The Economist comes across, and so that's why we don't really have bylines.
But you're a newspaper without a news desk. How do you fit into the structure, and how perhaps should people think of The Economist if they're wanting to approach you about issues?
Well, I fit into the structure. I write mainly for the business section of the newspaper, as we saw, but also for the Britain section as well, because I cover business in Britain to a certain extent. In terms of approaching Economist journalists, I mean, I think the direct way is probably the best. Although there's no bylines, we have a media directory, and it shouldn't be beyond the scope of a good PR to sort of work out who's probably responsible for articles. And if that's a problem, go directly to the section head, and he'll pass on whatever you send in to the relevant person.
Simon, thank you for your time this morning.
It's been a pleasure.